Oh, I think I was muted. Sorry for that. Hello, everyone. How are you? My name is David. Welcome today to another Global Hack Week. Uh, welcome today. We're going to learn how to use React to build some real world data apps. So that's so exciting for me. And welcome, everyone. Good evening. Welcome, Eric. Welcome, uh, Axus. Axos. Let me know if I pronounce it well. Lucero, welcome. Uh, welcome, my Mike Scully, I think. Icebound Forest, welcome. Welcome, Spicy Taco. That is so a good name. Spicy Taco is a really, really good name. Uh, Arc, never used React for data. Super excited. Yeah, React is one of the greatest. Well, for me, I think React is really fun to use. If you like anything like Svelte or Vue or anything like that, it's also cool. But my favorite is React. So we're going to see some cool API and things that you can use to build, some data and things like that. Today, I'm thinking like let's try to both to decide what to build. I have an API here that is called Polygon. Polygon is a really cool API. And okay, if you never use React for anything, don't worry about it. I'm going to try to explain you how to use it. So I just post a comment with the API. I think it's down below. Yeah, it is fine if you have never used React before. We're going to learn how to use it. We're going to learn how to build things in web. And yeah, I think everything should be really easy to do. Uh, don't worry about it. If you have tons of doubts, make them. If you have like questions or things like that, don't worry about it. And yeah, what do you think if we try and start talking about this cool API that we're going to use today? So let me share my screen and let me share the API that we're going to use. So like I said, I posted a comment below with the API. The API is called Polygon.io. So Polygon is a cool API that modernizes like all the market at once. So you have a lot of information from this, like you can have information about the stocks, about indices, options, forex, crypto, a lot of stuff. Like if you have ever used something like Google Finance, let me just share my screen and let me go to Google Finance. Blah, blah, blah. Finance. Finance. Here you go. So this is Google Finance. Google Finance has a lot of information about the stocks, a lot about like currencies and things like that. So you can have a lot of information here, from here. It has a lot of, for example, it has a lot of information about stocks. As you can see here, the stock of Google, it's called Alphabet, Microsoft, Amazon, Meta, Apple, Tesla, a lot of kind of stocks. So for example, here in my kind of wallet, I have currencies like Cemex, Walmart, Fibra, Gentera, and so on and so on. So yeah, we're going to. Well, I'm trying to imagine like what do we can we try to build. So one of the things that I'm trying to imagine is to build like some kind of graphic that is going to be uploading like every minute to have information about like the price of the USD. So for example, USD price compared here in Mexico. Um, for example, one USD is it's equal to uh, 16.75 pesos mexicanos. So yeah, I like building something like this kind of graph should be really good. And I think we can use some kind of libraries to try to um, get that information or that data with this. And the cool thing about React is that we can fetch information from these APIs really easy to make. Don't worry about it. Don't worry if you've never used something like JavaScript or like React or anything like that. We're going to uh, go really deep into this, and I hope we have enough time to make everything. So, uh, like I said, oh my god, let me share this. Sorry for that again. This is why I hate sometimes StreamYard. Um, Thank you. Hi, Indigo. Hi, how are you? It's nice to see you again. Hi, Indigo. Hi, Sam. Hi, Asman. Sorry for that. Again, don't worry about it. So yeah, this is Polygon. Polygon is our API. I'm going to show you here like the documentation of the API. Polygon gives you access to a lot of endpoints that return to you information about stocks, about crypto, about stocks and options, forex indices, and so on, so on. And this is Google Finance. Google Finance is yeah, I think you now you can see it. Yeah, sorry for that. Sorry for that. So yeah, like I said, Google Finance has a lot of information about a stock, about crypto. I think I also have some currencies and things like that. So for example, you can see some information here about the stocks of Apple, of Alphabet, Microsoft, and so on and so on. And what I tried to say is like it would be cool to build something like this kind of graph that has information about like, hey, for each day you can see like the price of the dollar between the pesos. So for example, now on today $1 is equal to 1675 pesos. So $1 should be, yeah, is 1675 pesos. So we can build something like that, but instead of using maybe a dollar, maybe using something uh, like a crypto or something like that. Let's just try to imagine or try to vote about which kind of currency we can use to build this. So yeah, let's try to start with this. So before starting with this, this is the part where I talk you about the GitHub Student Developer Pack. So I don't know if this is necessary. So if you're a student, cool. If you're, this is cool and this is so great for you. You have a lot of power with this. If you're not a student, don't worry about it. We're going to end with this in 5 minutes or 7. So yeah, I think now you can see it at my screen. So welcome to the GitHub Student Developer Pack. This is a cool pack that has like around $3,000 in some tools and things that you can use. So, for example, if you're a new student or you're going to enter to college, university, to a boot camp, or something that is related with GitHub and has applied to for its students to become a GitHub student and uh, have the opportunity to grant the GitHub Student Developer Pack, you're good. So yeah, let's jump into the GitHub Student Developer Pack. Like I said, if you're a new student, maybe in tech, maybe you want to learn how to build things with technology, the GitHub Student Developer Pack has a lot of tools that can help you to build anything you want with it. So the first thing is the virtual event kit. It has a lot of experiences that you can use to try to build things. Like for example, hey, I want to make an event virtually. I want to a stream like this, like the Global Hack Week is a virtual event. So if you want to make something like that, have a cool page, you can use Namecheap. If you want to have something to stream on, you can use StreamYard. You have your Discord. You have Microsoft Azure gives you some kind of credits to do whatever you want with the cloud of Microsoft. Also, if you want to make something like a hackathon in the cloud and you don't know how to make anything like this, don't worry about it. Major League Hacking is involved in these kind of experiences. MAT platform also is, and Discord is also. So we have a lot of things for you. You can make your virtual one here with the GitHub Student Developer Pack. You have things like Typeform, like Visual Studio Code, like GitLens. Also, if you want to use Figma and build like your first web page design, you can use OctoIcons, Icon Site, like Icon Scout. You have a lot of access to a lot of cool things. So also, if you want to learn how to use JavaScript, how to use GitHub, how to use become a data engineer or profile README or things like that, you have a lot of experiences here that you can use to learn how to do cool things with technology, like how to build. For example, we are in the month of data, so it's August data. You can enter here and use the data science and machine learning experience. And you can use Datadog, SkillGate, GitHub Code Spaces. That is the tool that we're going to use today to build our application here. And as you can see, you have a lot of offers. So hey, do you want a a cool web page like the Global Hack Week web page. You can use Namecheap to have your own domain. You can also use name.com to have your own domain, and you can use tech domains to also create your cool domain. So you have three options to create a cool application or your cool web page, your own personal web page. So if you want to build, I don't know, an API, you want to build some machine learning with cloud and I don't know, computer vision application and things like that, you can use Microsoft Azure. Hey, do you want to host your Minecraft server? You can use DigitalOcean. If you want to host your own server in Minecraft, you can search in the internet how to host your Minecraft server in DigitalOcean, and you have the enough credits to say like, I don't know, like 3 or 6 months in your Minecraft server with your friends and things like that. So it is a cool alternative of buying a server. So it is great. Also, you have JetBrains. If you don't like Visual Studio Code, you like more like a specific IDE, for example, for JavaScript, for Visual Studio, for C Sharp, or Ruby on Rails, or things like that. JetBrains has a lot of cool ideas that you can use. If you want to learn a lot of things, you can use Educative. Hey, do you want to build APIs? You can use Heroku. You can host your APIs in Heroku, use it however you want. You have access to Visual Studio Code. If you want to learn machine learning, how to become a data science, data engineer, or machine learning engineer, you can use DataCamp. Also, you have Bootstrap Studio if you want to make a web page and you don't know anything about HTML or how to build things like that. You can use Bootstrap Studio. It is just a drag and drop tool like Wix or like anything like that. So you can use them. So you like as you can see, you have a lot of power here. You have a lot of tools. If you are preparing for an interview, you can use Algo Expert. Like you have a lot of tools here for just being a student. You have like the powers is in your hands. You are like Thanos. You have like the five gems of the infinite, and you can destroy whatever you want. You can build whatever you want. You can use your time however you want. So yeah, you can see it in that way. So yeah, if you're a student, just apply. Please apply to this GitHub Student Developer Pack. You can sign on or do anything like that. Create a GitHub account, and after creating your GitHub account, just apply here to get your student developer pack for students. You just need to have like your academic card or anything like a Cardex, like something like your qualifications or things like that, like your grades or any kind of document that can help you to ensure that you're a student. So yeah, I think that should be anything for it. So yeah, sorry for taking a lot of time. So I really like this GitHub Student Developer Pack, and I help you to use it however you want, build anything you want. So after doing this, now let's jump into the other thing that was the GitHub Codespaces. So yeah, this is GitHub Codespaces. So if you ever have been in the situation where, hey, I want to build cool things, but my computer is not powerful enough. So hey, welcome to GitHub Codespaces. You don't have to worry about, I don't know, like processing things in your computer if you don't have enough RAM or if you don't have enough memory or things like that in your computer. GitHub Codespaces is basically your IDE, or it's like basically Visual Studio Code, and you can use it in the cloud. Everything is going to be processing in the cloud, so you don't have to worry anything about it. So yeah, as I said, you have anything that you like. If you want to work with Jupyter notebooks, you can use it. If you want to build JavaScript, Python apps, or Ruby on Rails apps, you have anything that you need here. You also have terminals. You also have like all your favorite extensions in Visual Studio Code. And as a student, you have access like 16 or 80 hours for each month of use of GitHub Codespaces. So yeah, like I said, you can use it as you want. You don't have to worry about like, hey, I don't have Python installed. I don't have Node.js installed in my computer. How am I going to build my applications here? You don't need to worry about it. Everything is now here. And with this, everything is more easy to do. You just need to worry about like what you're going to build and how you're going to do it. And yeah, so as you can see, everything is going to be in your browser. If you ever use something like Flask or like FastAPI, you know that you're going to use like a local host port to see your API or your page or anything like that. So it's the same thing, but in your browser. GitHub Codespaces takes anything that you need to worry about. So yeah, what do you think if we jump into here? And the first thing that we're going to do is to um, yeah, Titanium is free. You don't need to worry about it. I think it's free for everyone, but the difference is the amount of time that you have in free. I think. Yeah, to be honest, I don't remember, but I didn't remember the difference of hours. But yeah, it is free. So yeah, let's jump into it. So the first thing that we need to do is first go to github.com, and after going to github.com, uh, I just sent you the link of GitHub there. So after entering to your GitHub account, uh, you'll need to go to this button here to create a new repository. And this repository is going to be the real-time data. Don't use a template, you choose your owner and create your repository name. There's going to be like real-time data React app and Global Hack Week data. Hack Week read data. August data, I think. Real-time data app. And add a README. And after doing that, just create a repository. So again, you go here, choose this button, pick it, and choose new repository. Then you select no template, choose an owner. That's going to be you, your username. Type a name for your repository, type a description for your repository, and choose public or private, however you want, and add a README file. And after that, just if you want, choose a license. You can use it if you're going to build something else in the future. But if not, don't worry about it. Just create your repository, and it's going to take just a second. So now we are here. So you can see this green button. You just need to click it, and you can see that it says local and code spaces. To select code spaces, and after selecting code spaces, just select create a code space on main, and this should be sure now, I think. So everything should be setting up for you. So ta-da! Now you can see your GitHub code space environment already here. So as you can see, it is basically Visual Studio Code, but in your browser. Everything is going to be running in your in the cloud. So yeah, we're almost done with this. So the next thing about we should worry about is about, hey, I already have my environment, but if we're going to build something with React, how I'm going to install React in my environment. So yeah, that's a real cool thing to do. So just go to reactdev.com, React. Just go here, reactdev.com, and you'll see something called like introduction or learn React. And the quick starts gives you to a lot of reference and things like that. But I'm just searching the npm value of the app. So so installation. So, blah blah. Start new React. So you can use anything that you want, like here. So here's the documentation of React. And so how do you start a new React project? Like you can use whatever you want. You can use like Next, like Remix, or Gatsby. These ones are like React frameworks that you can use. So if you want if you want, we can use Next.js. So yeah, let's just use Next.js here. So just copy this line here that says npx create React app. So before doing that, we should first install Next. So we're going to go to the next documentation. So let's go to the installation and recommended blah 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 blah. Setups anything. Is it already installed? I don't know. So let me just see. npx create next app. Is it installed already? Oh, it is. No, no, it is not. So yeah, just go into your React. Just go here to the React dev page. Copy this line of code. Go again to your GitHub code space. Paste it here in your terminal and just install it. Like proceed. It is going to be installed. So now we need to create a name. So let's call it something like real time currencies. Would you like to use TypeScript? For this occasion, we're not going to use TypeScript. And yes, we're going to use ESLint. We're not going to use Tailwind. And we are going to use this as our C directory. And yeah, we're going to use AppRouter, and we're not going to import anything like this. So again, we're not going to use TypeScript. We are going to use ESLint. We're not going to use Tailwind. We're going to use the src directory, AppRouter, yes, and we're not going to customize the default import alias. So everything should be installing right now. So if you have any kind of problems or anything like that, so can you share the other screen with React Dev? Yeah. So you're thinking about this screen, and let me just zoom it a little bit more. Let me know if this is like enough or if you need more zoom. All right. Yeah, yeah, that's me. That's me. All right, thank you so much, Indigo. Yeah, that's basically me. Like, hey, like for example, when I was reading about the Polygon API, I heard I was like, what does this do? And then I spent like 5 seconds trying to read, and then blah blah, and boom, installation, and then trying to understand it like for myself. And yeah, so everything is now installed. So now we just need to go to our new folder that has been created here. So as you can see, we have a lot of things that we're going to see here. Don't worry about it. So the only thing that you need to worry about is to go to your new folder. In this case, it's real-time currencies. We can move it with just the command cd to move and the name of the folder. And now we can use something like npm run dev, I think. And yeah, we have started our new page. So as you can see here, we have like a part that says sports. So we can go to this port. I hope it is still compiling here. So I don't know if it is ready yet. Like you can see the GitHub code space is trying to connect to the forwarded port. So don't worry about it. It's just going to take a little bit. So yay, we have our page here. So as you can see, we have already here Next.js, and we have docs, learn, templates, deploy, and things like that, But we have a lot of things that we don't want. So now you can see it. So as you can see, here is the page. You can see that we have a lot of things about Next.js. For now, we're not going to worry about it. So the only thing that we are going to worry about is some things that I'm going to explain later here. But yeah, so as we can see, we have a lot of things that we don't want. So what do you think we try to just put something like hello world in our page? So let me share my screen here. Yeah, let me put the commands here. So this is the command that you need to type here. npx create next tab, and after that, just run npm run dep. And again, if you want to make sure about things like, let me know how to. I think this should be enough soon for the stream. Let me know if you need more soon to see like the commands. The command is npx create react next app, and you're going to select no to TypeScript, just to ESLint, no to Tailwind, just to src directory, just to app router, and no to import alias. And that should be it. You just need to wait a little bit until it is installed. And after that, you can use anything you want. So yeah, after that, you need to move to your created folder. And after moving to your created folder, you can just run this command that is npm run dep. And that should be all. So yeah, let me just quick double bit zoom here. And yeah, I think we are ready to go. So yeah, let me make more zoom here. Sorry if it is a lot of zoom, but where I'm going to take a little bit of time to explain some things. So here we have like our folder, and you can see that inside this folder are a lot of folders and files. So don't worry about it. The only thing that you need to worry about is like your package JSON is where all your libraries are going to be installed, and your scripts. For example, the npx, like the npm run dep or npx next dep or anything like that is run by here. Also, your dependencies are going to be here. Like ESLint is a dependency, React is the dependency that we're using, and Next is a framework from React. So also React DOM is another library that we use for React. So like all this stuff is just dependencies. If you have ever used something like Python, you can imagine like this is your pip freeze, like the dependencies.txt, or to be honest, I don't remember what was the name. Yeah, you can imagine like it's pip, like all your dependencies that you have in your Python package manager, uh, is like that. Like, yeah, I think it was called like dependencies.txt. To be honest, I don't remember, but you can imagine like is that file. Yeah. So if anyone remembers like how was the name, or like how you should be naming your dependencies file in Python, please let me know, please, because I can remember. Um, this is your ESLint file, like ESLint JSON is a file that just ensures that you're like writing code correct. Gitignore is a file that is going to ignore all the folders and files that you don't care about it. Like, hey, I don't want all my models installed in my local in my local computer, or my part of the server to be passed to GitHub. I just want my code to be passed, not the dependencies file or like the next files or things like that. Next config is some kind of configuration that we're not going to use today. JS config is still some kind of things that you don't need to worry about. And here are the cool things. Public is like the folder where we are going to put everything, like our we can put like JavaScript, we can put like CSS, we can put images and things like that. Like however you want to, whatever you want to put here, you can do it, but it's going to be public. Like for example, we use it a lot for putting images and SVGs and kind of apps here. And all your code is going to be here in your src folder. So here we can see like fab icon, that like the icon of our page. We can see the global CSS. Like this is all the CSS that we're looking at. This is a layout. For now, you don't need to worry about this. We're going to see it later in another stream. And page is where our main page is going to be at. And yeah, so for example, we can see here that, yeah, here we are. Like we can see this page and we can see, let me just zoom out a little bit, zoom in more. We can see that we have something like get started by editing, or this, like this is this part. We have a lot of links, a lot of images, like this image is this one. So it has a lot of stuff that you don't need to worry about and we don't want today. So we're just going to go here into our main tag. We're going to erase everything instead of the main app, and we're just going to put a title that says Hello World, Hello Global Hack Week. So it should be just yeah. So now we have everything here. Again, you just need to delete everything that is from this tag to this tag, and just put something like H1. H1 is like a title, and just use something like Hello Global Hack Week or Hello World, and now everything should be on. Requirements txt, yeah. So again, let me go again. Here. So, yeah. So again, this is our page.js. So page.js is like the page that you want to modify, the file that you want to modify. And here again, if you want to modify this page, you just need to go from the tag below main to the tag up from main, from the closing tag of main. So you should just delete this and use something like H1 and say hello world. Hello world. And yeah. So let me know if this is enough zoom or if you need more zoom to it. And yeah, like I said, you don't have to edit a lot of things in this file. So you just need to put something like hello world and delete everything that is from this tag to this tag. And with that, you should be able to see this in your code or like in your page. So remember, to access this page, you just need to go to ports and go to the 3000 and click to this like web icon that says opening on your browser. And yeah, I think that should be it. And let me know if anything is behind, or if you have doubts or anything like that. So with this, we should be able to go. So, okay, so we have learned how to put things, how to use React to start our web page. And again, until now, you should just be able to see something like hello world. And the next thing to do is like to, how do I retrieve data from the internet and paste it into like my web page? So we're going to use something called use effect and use state. So to use them, we are going to import them. So to import some things here, like in Python or other libraries, you just need to, well, other languages, you just need to import something from somewhere, right? This somewhere is React. Remember, React was one of our dependencies, so we have already installed that, and we're going to use two functions: use state and use effect. So remember, just import open brackets, use state and use effect from React. And with this, now a thing that you need to know about React or about a component is that you can declare everything that you want in this space. Like, for example, everything from here to here is a place where you can put code. Like, you can type all the code you want here, like in this space. But for example, if you want to code function, if you want to code constant variables, things, you should use it from the space from below return and above your open bracket from your component. In this case, our component is called home. So we should use anything for about like the logistics of your page here in this space. And below the return space, you should return something. So because we need to report to return something, we should at least pass one tag. In this case, everything is like wrapped into our main tag. So use it that way. Use it like, hey, if your main component is going to be this home, wrap everything here. But if you want to make like create another component or use something else, you can just use a div. You can use, for example, you can use this div or you can use something like this, and you should be able to go. So with that, now you should be able to just go here and start again and start coding. So with this, now we should be able to go. So again, below the return, we should use something like all the logistics. And what logic are we going to use? We're going to fetch data or retrieve data from internet, right? So we're going to use useEffect. UseEffect receives two arguments. The first argument is a function. The function is whatever you want to build, and this like array is the array of dependencies. It's a dependency list. Basically, is like UseEffect awaits until something changes or something renders, and that function is going to be called every time that dependency renders itself. So with this, if we pass the list empty, it is going to run just after all the page or all the component is already rendered. So yeah, in other words, it is going to be rendered every time the page is reload or every time the page is rendered. So here we can put everything that we want to do. In this case, we're going to add a constant. That const is basically a variable that we use to say that that variable is not going to change in the later on in the code. So it's going to have a constant value. So with const, we can use something like create a function. So to create a function, you can use something like function. The name of the function is going to be get info. And with this, oh, sorry about it. My keys are changing. Yeah. So with this, we should be able to call to get info right here and put something in our console, like console.log hello world. So this is basically something like print. We're going to print in the console of the browser, hello world, everything there. The page renders itself, blah, blah, blah. And another thing that is really important is that Next.js uses something like server-side rendering. And because we are using UseEffect, we are not rendering things in the server. We're rendering locally in our computer. So for that, we're using client. So yeah, this is a weird stuff about Next.js because it is a framework that is focused on the server-side rendering, but because we're using like our computers for render things, or we're going to use this keyword, just use it. Like just put in the top of your code, use client, and with that, we should be good and ready to go. So as we can see, we have reloaded our page, and let me put my console here and try to change it here. And console, and we see a lot of things that I don't know what they render itself like in that kind of error. But so let me extra attributes from the server. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I don't know what does that mean. um, so yeah, as we can see, we have hello world here, and as we render everything itself, uh, like we have rendered again our page, we have reloaded, and we can see everything. So just give me a minute to type something. Um, yeah. So yeah, sorry for that. So yeah, now everything is yeah, it is use client. So let me just cut it here, and yeah, let me share the GitHub repo that we are using here. We have not added anything. We are building everything from scratch, and so remember, put this thing like use client in the top of your code, and for rendering or for executing a function every time the page renders itself or the page reloads, just use effect. Inside, remember, use effect receives two arguments. The first argument is a function, and or like a space where you're going to declare something. In this case, we're declaring just a function that is going to be run itself, and we can declare something here. We can use like function, or we can use something that also works like counts get info, and get info is going to be equal to this, and we're going to return something here. But that is a thing called ES6. That is a new form to try to uh, code or to type JavaScript. And for that, I don't want to harm every one of you, or like uh, kind of make you a lot of mess with the idea of JavaScript, but don't worry about it. To make things like really simple, we're just going to use a function and use console.log hello world and get that info. So again, we have already learned how to run things inside the use effect, and but now, David, how we're going to get the info and where are we going to get it? So a good example where you can do this is um, like getting info from an API, and from getting info from the internet and like asynchronously, we need to put this called sync function and get async function get info. And with this, we now say that, hey, my function is going to be run asynchronously. And with that, now you can do things with this. So for fetching info from the internet, we need a URL. And for putting something like a real simple example before jumping into the application that we're going to run, we can use something like the simple Pokemon API. And we can use the Poke API that is here. Yeah, use effect is like a method action. It is called a React hook. Basically, a React hook is functions. There are functions built for React that are already like optimized for React to do things. You can learn it like really well here in React hooks. So let me put hooks built in React hooks, and let me just share my tabs. So like the document says, hooks lets you use different React features from your components. You can either use in the built-in hooks to, or combine them to build your own. Like the most common use hooks are the use state that helps you to, how can I say it? It helps you to declare variables and to manage, do things like with those variables dynamically. Like for example, when you pick a bottom, or when you click into some bottom or anything like that, uh, make that value to up or to increment or anything like that, and you can use it like to use whatever you want. This state can be a number, it can be a string, it can be a list, an object, anything you want to do it, and you can dynamically alter that variable, like change the value of that variable, and again display it into your page. So we're going to see it here. For example, we're now onto the Poke API. So we have the Pokemon data information. So we're just going to copy that URL. We paste it here, and we already use that. So we have the function fetch that is going to receive a URL that we're going to fetch into. Then we're going to receive something. It returns a promise. So because it is going to be asynchronously, we need to say something to that. So we use then and catch. So then is something like, hey, if I receive something from the server that I'm trying to get info, pass me. I'm going to do something with that information. So it is going to be something like do something. And here, catch, we use it to say something like, hey, if I have an error in my, like if the server returns to me an error, do something with the error. And yeah, so we're going to receive some information from the fetch. So we're going to say something like, hey, from the response that I'm going to receive, do do a thing, right? Like do a flip or anything like that. Like it looks like some kind of weird. So you can see it here like, uh, hey, after receiving the information, I know that I'm going to receive an argument. So that argument, I'm going to say, I'm going to call it response. And with that argument, I'm going to do something. For example, I want to see how my response looks. So print did the server return me, and do the same here. So error, and pass this. And if you're wondering, hey, what does this arrow means? It is something like return, and yeah, uh, it it should just return some, like you can put like this and it is going to work also, but the difference is that the difference of using the arrow without the brackets and without them and with them is that if you don't use brackets, you're going to say that, or like you're saying JavaScript that you're just going to return something like just one line of code or like one function or one thing, right? Like return a plus b or and just that. But hey, if you want to have a constant like const equal sum is equal to a plus b, and then do something like some I don't know, sum divided by like const deep is equal to sum divided by 3 or something like that. Like you want to do more stuff, then you cannot do it. You need to put like your brackets to tell JavaScript that you're going to do more than one thing. So again, sorry for the interruption of this. Uh, I don't even know if someone has like that out, but like if the doubt just appeared. Yeah. So again, we're going to fetch some information from one part of the internet. So because this is asynchronously, when we are trying to reach to that information, maybe the server just exploded or like the server has a lot of traffic and it cannot gives us information. So what we're going to say is like, hey, if I receive a response like effectively, then do something with the response. But if I receive an error, just you again cancel that error response. Error, sorry, error. And yeah, that should be it. So let's try to see if we received something from the API. Blah 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 blah. And let me just log this and see if we have an error. Maybe we have. And blah blah blah. Yeah, we have already a response here. So because we have a lot of things here, we need to do something else with this information. Like, okay, we have already this, but we receive a response of type course. So I need to tell JavaScript that I need to do something with that response to use it, to display it into my server. So for doing that, we should first try um, to pass that information into a JSON data. So if I receive a response, then I'm going to say that, hey, my response is going to be equal to, or like JSON, like const JSON is equal to response dot JSON, and then I should be um, able to see my JSON, I think. Response to JSON, yeah. And then blah, 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 blah. Well, let me go here. I was not sharing my code. So yeah, as we can see, like we need to do something with that response that is not in a readable way for me. So I should use something like first count JSON is equal to response JSON, or like count information or data. Const data is equal to response.json. So then I should use something like console log data. So we should be now able to see our data here, and blah 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 blah. Yeah. So blah, 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 blah. So as we can see, we receive a promise. So now you're going to say something like, "Hey, what is a promise where I'm receiving that, where I'm not seeing my data here?" So this is another thing that we need to worry about it. Let me share here my screen. Yeah. So I think now you're seeing it. Again, if anyone has any kind of doubts, comments, or anything like that, don't worry about it. We can cover it. So yeah, we saw that we receive a promise. So what is a promise, and what I'm receiving a promise, and what do I do to try to fulfill the promise, right? So like we said, uh, we need to try to fetch that, but like we tried to fetch it, right? But I think that we didn't use is, or like I think that we didn't ensure is like we need to try to do something, or like try to say to JavaScript, hey, wait until you see that the server responds you, or wait until you see anything from it. So let's just try to go and try to Google this. So when do you think we go to MVN? Wait. So we have here like the Mozilla web documentations. So await is an operation. Let me change this to English. And the await operator is used to wait for a promise and get its fulfillment value. It can only be used inside a sync function or at the top level of a module. So as you can see, we have to wait until a promise is fulfilled. And again, if you have ever hear if you haven't ever heard anything about promise, a promise is just an object that represents the eventual completion of an asynchronous operation and its resulting value. So as we say, like before, like maybe we're trying to get information from some part of the internet, but I don't know, maybe I'm trying to get information from a server that is kilometers away from me, or the server has a lot of traffic and it cannot handle uh, my response or anything like that. It cannot handle the response for me, or it takes time, and like a lot of things can happen while my code is still running, right? So need to wait until that promise is fulfilled to do something with the information that the server returned to me. So I don't know if I explained myself well, but I think now you're going to see it in this part of the code. So let me see. All right, so we should be ready to go. So again, for getting this response, we should be able to do something like this. Like response is going to be const response is going to be able to do something with await, fetch, and after that we should do something like uh, mm, to be honest, I think it is not necessary to do this. or yeah, just try to return the response like const information like bucket data is equal to await fetch. Yeah, they did something else. Data. Yeah, bucket data is equal to await fetch. So now we're awaiting until the server returns something to us, and after it returns something to us, then we're going to do that something with the response, right? So we have uh, console.log. Sorry, um, data is equal to const data is equal to response.json. And after that, we are going to use console.log response data. And blah, 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 blah. So the promise is still pending, huh? Blah, blah, wait, fetch, blah, blah. Right, right, I think I forgot to await this JSON. Yeah, I think I did something wrong. I think I forget that I first need to await to the response and I need to do it like in this way. Const JSON is equal to like data, JSON data is equal to await data.json, and after that just do console.log JSON data. And with this, I think we should be able to go. And let me see if we, yeah, now we're ready to go. Sorry for that. Yeah, sorry for that. Now now we see that we have like the Pokemon information. We have like uh, all the information of the abilities, forms, game indexes, the height, the name that it was Ditto, and we can ensure that we are correct because we try to retrieve the information from the Pokemon Ditto. So again, use this effect to render just one time when the page loads, uh, render like get the information, and we're declaring a function called get info. This info is going to get it's going to fetch data from a URL. It is going to await until the server returns that data. Then after getting that data, we're going to just try to format in a way that our browser uh, can receive that information and display it. We're going to uh, try to display it or like reformat the information. And because we are also awaiting until the server returns the information, we should use the await constant, like the await operator. Like, hey, if the server has already returned this, then execute the data.json function with the information that I'm awaiting to receive, right? And after everything is already fulfilled, display the data, and we can see the data right here. So I'm sorry if I didn't know you how to explain everything. Sorry for that, but let me know if you are already here. Um, yeah, with that, thank you so much for doing that. So for that, we are going to use something called try and catch. So I think this is also in Python. Uh, so we're going to try this. Uh, yeah, so Aforcius has a great question that is, hey, because we're not using the then.catch, what do we do now? So JavaScript has also the try and catch effect, or like the try and catch function. So again, hey, try to do this, and if you have an error, just catch it, catch the error, and display it. So console.log, well, that error, the error. And with that, with this, we should be able to see everything now. And blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So blah, blah, blah. Let me share this. And now, yeah, now you can see that we still have like the information coming to us, but yeah, like Python try and accept. Yeah, we can use the exception handling, but in JavaScript, instead of doing the try except, we're using the try and catch, like this. So let me know if you already have the data information, and with if you have any problems, let me know. And now that we have retrieved the data from the API, we should use something else like, okay, I have already data, but how do I display it in my computer? How do I display it in my page? So for displaying it in my page, remember that we also imported the use state function, right? So the thing that I like to do is to first put everything in the use effect, and after getting everything from the use effect, I have all my data that I need, and then I can declare all my variables or constant or things like that, right? So for use effect has puts like in an array, like the name of your state that you're. I'm sorry, the use state hook uses something like this. Use state looks something like this. And zero. So our hook receives a list. That this list is going to have two elements. The first element is the name of your state. So in this case, it's going to be Pocket Data. How we already no, we didn't use Pocket Data. So this is going to be Pocket Data and set Pocket Data. So blah, 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 blah. So Pocket Data is like the variable that we're going to use, and for update the value of Pocket Data, we're just going to use set Pocket Data and do something with the value of Pocket Data, right? So because we're receiving an object, we should, instead of using a number, we should use an object. So it is something like, hey, I'm going to declare a state where I'm going to use a state of an object, and this object is going to be called Pocket Data. There's going to be a state, and for altering the value of my Pocket Data state, I'm going to use the function set Pocket Data, and with that function, I can do anything that I want. So in this case, because we have already fetched like the information that we want, instead of using the console log, we can use something like set Pocket Data and say that the set Pocket Data is going to be the JSON data. And after this, we should be able to see something. And remember how I told you, like, hey, the use effect is going to be rendered every time that the dependency list or something in the dependency list has changed. So a cool thing about use effect is that we can use use effect how many times we want. So whenever we are going to use use effect again, but in this case, we're just going to use it whenever Pocket Data renders or like changes its value. So we're going to use it to console.log the value of Pocket Data. Pocket Data and says like, hey, my value is and Pocket Data. And I think this should work. I think. And blah, blah, blah. I think I have an error. Blah, blah, blah. And before initialization, yeah. In this case, I need to, yeah, sorry for that. I forgot that I need to first declare the Pocket Data. So again, first you need to declare everything. So yeah, I'm so sorry with that. I received a message. Yeah. So first we need to declare our constant, and because use effect is a function, if we declare it before like down below the use effect is going to explode because it says, hey, you're trying me to check something that it doesn't already exist before I execute. So yeah, to to try to avoid that, just declare your use state here. And with that, we should be able to rerun everything. And yeah, now we can see like here, if we re-render the page again, it is going to first fetch the information from the API, and then is going to put it into our uh, state of Pocket Data, and you can see that it says, "Hey, my value is," and all the information of the Pocket Data. So, oh shoot, I cannot see the. Oh, sorry. And blah 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 blah. Let me just stop sharing because I think you're not seeing the value here. So just let me present and share the screen and share the entire screen. And blah blah blah. I think I should be able to see it. And let me know if you see like all the screen. So yeah, as you can see, we have like our information like, hey, my value is this, and with this we have like uh, we saw in our code that we're using use effect, and with this effect we first try to fetch the data from the API, and after fetching it we are setting the data that we have already formatted into a JSON and put it into our Pocket Data. And after this, we use another use effect to see that, hey, the Pocket Data state has changed. So now do something with it. And because we want to do something with it, we just console that log, that value, the value of the Pocket Data that has been updated. So now you can see anything, and because we have already something in our variable that is already stored, we can use our mm, we can use that value and try to do something with it. And to do something with it, we can use I don't know, maybe try to display the name of the Pokemon. And as we can see, we have an object, and the object has a parameter that, or like a key that is called name, and its value is zero. So if we want to just display the name of data, we should use another title, but instead of one, we just use a two to make it a little bit smaller, and use something like to use variables inside the part of return or inside our text, we should open these brackets and use something like Pocket Data that name. And yeah, now we're seeing Ditto. So yeah, we managed to do it. And yeah, so now we have the information. If we want to uh, put something like an image, we can use something like image source is equal to uh, okay data that I think it was like in um sorry, because we have, let me just delete this right now. We just cut it and reload this and blah blah. Oh, let me see this. I think it was sprites, and we're going to use this one. I think it's from default, and it is from default. So it is Pocket Data sprites. It is, oh no, sorry for that. It was Pocket Data that sprites that image. Or no, from default. From default. From default and sprites. Source is equal to Pocket Data that sprites that from default. And let me just render this again, and let's see if this is going to work. Camden regretting from default. What's from? Let me see again how it is called. And we have data and the value, the sprites. So we have the sprites, and let's go to Pocket Data, that sprites, that front default. And if not, expression expected. Yeah, sorry for that. I forget to close this. Close this, and now with this, we are not getting anything. I think it's because of the. Let me then console log this because I don't know what is going on. All right, so should we use something like console? It uses use effects to say like, hey, my sprites are Pocket Data. Oh, sorry for that. My sprites are Pocket Data dot sprites, and let's see if this exists. Yeah, so we have front default and that front default and blah, blah. Then why am I not receiving it? Oh yeah, I'm so sorry for that. Yeah. Sorry. I forgot it. So because we're expecting to get it and the code is going to be running itself, um, like because we're going to send a request to the server to receive the response and with all the information, with all the sprites, with all the things, we need to ensure that if we have not fulfilled that information, we need to do something, right? So JavaScript has a cool thing here that's it is something like an if, but I think this was called kernel operator or something like that. So we can say something like, hey, if we have already fulfilled the pocket data information, then do something. If we have already fulfilled, then display the image source equal to pocket data dot sprites dot front default. And yeah, let's play it, right? But if not, then this is like the if not, like the else is like 2 points, and do something else like displaying just something like a paragraph that says dot dot dot, and should be working. Blah, 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 blah. Nope. Double blah, blah, blah. Okay, so let me see what is going on. We need to be async. Should this? Should it be? So again, blah blah blah. We have this. So we have already got everything. So we have the pocket data already fulfilled. Data sprites. All right, let me just quickly screen a little bit to change the screen. And yeah, sorry if I'm burning your eyes with the lights, with the light. Then blah blah. Let me share my screen and go again into the page.js. Again. Mm, mm, mm. So we should first import this, set it, fetch it, and then mm, all right. Huh. So what should we do with this? So it is also a thing like we have already declared our fetch Pokemon data, and after declaring it, we already get the response. We have already get the data. We set it, and with that, all right. So I think this should be working. Like I think that I'm missing something here, but I don't know why. Um, return. Oh shoot! 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 Turn. Turn this. I think. No, I think you don't need to use it to return. You should use this. Yeah. Sorry about that. You should use something like this and put in everything run up here. Blah blah blah. And yeah, it was the wrapper. Now let me just format document, and now everything should be up. And blah blah. Poginata. Oh, got it. Yeah, sorry for that. Forgot to add a T. Front default. And is it front default? Oh, all right. So we have the fragment data. Um, let me just put something like P and say pocket data sprites. Hmm. Should be like this, pocket data sprite from default. And should be able to see it in both ways. Pokemon data from default and pocket data sprites. Like, let me ask to ChatGPT. This like, um, I have an error. Mm, okay. Blah 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 blah. Okay, let me see if it works. Data that strikes from default. No, cannot with properties of I'm running from default, and let me ask ChatGPT what is this. Mm, says the Earth I know cannot rub properties of how would do blah blah blah. Uh-huh. So what should we do? Object that keys up a get out of the line of hand, blah blah. I think this is a lot. Let me see if this works. Like ChatGPT says that I need to do a lot of things that I think I don't. Hmm. Huh. So it is compiling embodied source. All right. Let me share. Let me see if the thing. I think it is working. Okay, API and see the front default. Yeah, it is working. Like the sprite is working, but what is not here? Voila. All right, yeah. Hmm. So I'm still stuck here. And let's ask again, ChatGPT. Uh, trying to say, let me share my like tab here. So I'm trying fetch an image from the Pokemon API, and I have an error that says uh, cannot read properties of undefined with the front default. Then go here and this code. And the other error how because it's an empty object when the component renders initial pick data will be undefined since the API can see prior to the sprite probably is no build. Provide a default value for the sprite property when constructing bucket that object. Here's the updated code. Uh, Bucket data uses state get info. Object keys of bucket data language equal to 0 and node sprites. What do I have? I have a try, hello object keys data, create sprites, and with this change, big component renders into Poké data sprites will still be undefined, but the Poké data sprites from default access will now throw an error. Uh, and with how all Poké data name. Hmm. I didn't understand what did it change? Because the secretary. It's available for trying to access. This can be experienced to show changing. Alright. I think it is the same thing. Try this Pocket data. Uh-huh. I think it's the same thing that I'm trying. So I have your. Let me try to copy this and inspect it. Oh, try to inspect this and try to have the button and the span and species, span color, species pad. No, how can I copy this? Um, my error was that the pocket data was set to null at first. Sorry, I think there. Sorry, so I think there's the problem. What's the Pokemon was set to null at first? I see, but my state is an object first, so it should be just null. Uh, no. So, so I have an object here. So, I think it is other thing. So, yeah, I'm sorry for this. I don't know why I am stuck here. So, to be honest, I'm just going to create a fetch to the Pokemon API. Read next. Yes. Check. Hi, blah blah. Where the code? Blah blah. And Pokemon map. Blah blah blah. Do it to data instead. Try to ask ChatGPT to pass the code to see what are we doing here. So we do the same thing. We get the response. Return data. Hmm. It's not the data that we experience, but the name, types, image, blah blah. And how do you render the sprite? Hmm. All right, so instead of this, let's do something like just come on, image, set image to this state and this and blah 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 blah. Try to use something like data JSON data and set Pokemon image equal to JSON data dot sprites dot front default and try to use console log data. Try to just create something like if Pokemon image and Pokemon data, then render this the image of source equal to this and this source of Pokemon image and blah, blah, blah. not changes of p. And height, I forget that height. Height is equal to 100 and equal to the data. Okay, data that name. And should we be able to see anything? Or do we have an error? No. I think our terminal just died, so let's try to run this. And I'll wait until these things. So now it is compiling. So now let's just re-render this. And it is compiling the page. So the client has been compiled already. So yeah, now we can see the data. I don't know what it was. Yeah, we do. To be honest, I don't know what it was. I think it was something with like the way that our state was fulfilling itself, like how we handle to manage the state fulfillment. So to be honest, I don't know. I don't know what happened there. So, but now it's working. But the problem is I don't know what was like not working. So, right. Uh, yeah. Now we can see the data. So let me just change the height to 400 or something like that to try to re-render the data itself. So we have data, we have the height of 400. See if it changes itself. So let's keep style is equal to height of 100 pixels and change it here. And should we now be able to see this? Yeah, now we can see it a little bit pixelated, but what we just changed like the style to see it a lot bigger. Right. Yeah, let me update the code. So the cool thing, well, sorry for all this stuff. Like a cool thing about GitHub Codespace is that, as you can see, we have all these things integrated right now. We have Git and our extensions already updated. So now we can just stage all the changes and do something like a commit, like initial, like we've learned how to fetch data. Now we have fetch data and we can synchronize our changes. And all right, so we have already synchronized our changes. If we go here to our repository, we can see that we have already like all the changes are right now. So you can fork this repository and start a new GitHub code page, code space. And with that, you should be able to go. So yeah, yeah. I'm still learning too. So I think yeah, like we are learning together. That is the cool thing. So yeah, let me share the code, and I think now you should be able to see the GitHub link. Mm. But yeah, it is so cool to have you like in all my streams in Indigo. Thank you so much. Like we are learning together, and that is the cool stuff. And like you can see, like we try to get into a lot of solutions. Like one of your solutions was like you had a null error. I don't know which one was like my error. I'm going to try to get into that later. But we still have like uh, 20 minutes so we can go into the next API. So, hey, we managed to get the data. Let me know if you managed to get the data too. So with this, now we learn how to fetch information. This was not the workshop about it. It was about how to fetch the real data. So for that, I think that we need is a real data API. So let's go to the API that we're going to use. So again, you need to go to Polygon, polygon.io. How to make blah blah blah. I get data and switch from data to Gengar. Hey, how to make the Pokemon name in all caps? So what do you mean with that? I got the data and I switched from a data to Gengar. Did you change anything in the API URL? So, so yeah, you just need to go to this URL, this link, and you should be ready to go to Polygon. You should first go to create an MPI key, and you should see something like sign up with GitHub and things like that. So just use your GitHub account to start. And let's go to our RESTful docs. Let's go to the RESTful documentation. And for now, let's just use the Stocks API documentation. And we should use like, you should copy and paste like the URL that it gives you here. And let me put it in my here information. So instead of fetching information that I have below, let me change my API key and go to the API key, use the API key, copy, return, and go again here. And let me share my API key. So blah, 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 blah. So let me just add another constant. So const API key is equal to this. And cool thing about JavaScript is that you can handle constants or like variables inside of strings. So for doing it, you just need to add these character. To be honest, I don't know how is this called. Is it apostrophe or something like that? I don't know, to be honest. But yeah, you can use it, and with this now you should use add a money tag, or how do you call this, like a dollar sign and two brackets, and with this you can add API key, any kind of variable that you have. So you have your URL and your API key, and it should be your URL. So with this, let's see, we have the information here. So let me just delete everything here. So blah, 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 let's change this and try to go and have like a console that log in the JSON data. And yeah, sorry for that. Console.log JSON data. And let me see if we have already like the information here, or if we need to do something else. Console object to query count request ID results, and results are, yeah, we have an array of results. So let me share my tab, and I think you cannot see the results. Yeah, thank God we can log in with GitHub. So let me stop sharing my screen, press it again, share all the whole screen so you can see the object and this entire screen, and blah, 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 add it to the stream and go here. And yeah, so the only thing that we made is just go into our Polygon getting started page, go to the Stocks API documentation, and well, let me share it with you here in StreamYard. Well, getting into the Stocks API documentation, so we first need to pass our API key in the query string like this, like with all our API, and we can use it to get anything that we want. So let's see, Polygon allows you to extend query parameters, and likely like we did. So we can use Polygon to make a lot of queries into this. So yeah, well, let's just try try to blah, blah, Apple. All right, yeah. So here are like the aggregate bars for a stock over a given date ranging custom time window. So for example, if time span is equal to minute multiplier 5, then the 5 minutes bar will be returned. So we have like the bar here, and we'll have so all the information that we want. So we have the parameters. We want the Apple stock sticker and the multiplier, the timestamp, and when do we want it in, from when do we want it to, like where we're going to start and where it's going to finish. And the time span, it can be a second, a minute, or an hour. So we can have it just for a minute. I think it should be good. And just a true, sort async, and time limit is equal to 100 this. And so we're going to run this query. And this should be like our copy, the thing that we want to do. And we should just copy this and paste it in our code. So let me just change this, and I think, all right, yeah. I think with this, like it is already pasted to the API key, so we don't need it. So we change this to API key. API key is equal to API key. Okay, so we have already everything that we need. So are we seeing something? Blah, blah, blah. Let me see, what do we have? All right, so we have the ticker Apple and we have the results. We had 100 results. So we have already everything that we need to make our stocks applications, our stocks graph. So now let's learn how the stocks work, right? So how do we display this? So with Apple, let's go to Google Finance and try to see what does this mean, right? Because we have in one day, we have it from hours, and wow, I think this just dropped itself, or something like that. It dropped a lot, right? Like he dropped like $30 or something like that. So yeah, blah, blah. So in one day we have all the change that we can make, right? And we have it from each minute. And so we have all the volumetrics and things like that we have, right? So is there any kind of use here, like any kind of example that we can use? So we already have this, but what do you think if we try to aggregate bars, like um, Polygon API aggregate bars example use stocks API data use stock API, right? So we have the example here, that the thing that we can't build with this, but do we want bars? Do we want something else? Like the only thing that I want is like the Apple one day, then yeah, this is what I wanted. Apply for instinctive ability to use APIs. Apple Link. Yeah, this is what I want to build. Like the technical indicators, or like the snapshots of these trades, snapshots, quotes, ticker details. So how can we build something like the technical indicators? Uh, so I think we should first search something like how to build a technical indicator, right? Like, no, which one it was this one? Snapshot, see the entire market at glance, and many more, opening, high, low, close, volume. And I think this is something like, blah, blah, blah. Should we search something like a snapshot from the entire market? Or like just like the candlestick? Because the candlestick is like the like the information that we have first, right? So should we just use search like how to build a candlestick chart? So with this, we should be able to create something like this. Candlestick chart Polygon API. Price of real time chart technical. In Python, polygonal candlestick poly. React. No. Chart React. So we have something like this, like basic candlestick chart, and we have this React charms. So we have object charms, annotation test, and we have like each minute that we have. The only thing that I want to learn is like, what does this mean? Technical indicators. We have the value timestamp, stocks. All right, so this is the aggregate bars spot. Can we use repeat daily? Last quote trades. And let me go again to the polygon.io because I think I need. Yeah, sorry for that. I think I need to see like which information are we seeing here, like from the log polygon.io. Market data, you're good. Powerful data, 1 trillion, make it found. Which page will we see later? All right, we were seeing this one. It's like the product data. Okay, so we have the trade products, we have a data, we have Apple, we have intuitive APIs, let's integrate market data into your applications using APIs. All right, so we have the so I think it will be a technical indicator, like so it will be underlying results, and with this we should be able to see it in here in docs and previous close trades. Reference data endpoints, stickers, snapshots, last call trades, previous aggregates, bars, daily previous close trades, and this should be the one in underlying X in aggregated. Technical indicator. So should we see something like technical indicator polygon API? So we have a simple simple semi-average to represent So we have the timestamp and the values, histogram signal timestamp, string index, so this is worth. Okay, so I just want to know which one is this. Like, I think it is like API Polygon B2X. So it is from Apple. And we have the request ID, the pointer, the next URL, poly. No, this is the market data endpoints, daily up and close. So this is just the pre-encrypted daily. No trades, neither. Let's trade no quotes, no snapshots. Is all tickers, no. Hmm. Yeah, I think it's this one. 10 time minutes and take a symbol by query by its timestamp, validation of minutes, adjust the true window 550 and run query. Yeah, I think it's this one. But well, we have the values. Yeah, already got it. It was the ticket one. Yeah, we are learning together how to build this. Uh, yeah, so what I wanted to do is like first get this. How do you say it? Like first this graph, like the thing, like the graph of the technical indicator of the Apple. Like this one. Uh, you know which how do you call this? Like this kind of graph, the one like up of this one, like the like this one, like the gray one, because we just need to worry about two values. But I think I have already found like the value I needed, the API I needed. So we already are like half there. And for using this, we should be also using like a line chart to just getting the information each time and just try to create a exponential uh, like how can I say it, like we already have the API, but the thing is that we should I don't know if by running it into a window itself we should be ready to see it, and after that just try to run the next URL again for trying to make the next request. But unfortunately, we have already reached out our time. Like that didn't image it all the time that we had. So I think, well, I have another stream like Wednesday. Uh, I don't remember which time I have the stream. So yeah, the indicators. Sorry for that, Hassan. So we have the indicators, and let me try to stop my stream. Like we couldn't finish to run all our application together. So yeah, so sorry for this. Like it's the first time that I'm trying to use Stocks API. So we're learning together how to do this. Don't worry about it. Uh, like the good thing about the stream is that we ended up trying to beat that data thing. But yeah, like I said, I'm returning here like Wednesday. I think it's the same time that this stream, but I think that another cool stream is going to get into. So next is we get let me get the Global Hack Week announcement. So I think now will it has a great stream. Uh, yeah, thank you so much for you for having a lot of patience, Asma. Uh, yeah, we are both together learning here. So, like I say, Wednesday, same time, same hour, we're going to build something. We're going to end a lot of this. So, yeah, thank you so much, and uh, I'll see you Wednesday. And follow up to the next good stream, and uh, keep it up. Like, see you. See you later.